Two quick things. Can somebody check on Tim Scott's health, his head? What is going on? If you put a string through here, can you put it right through the other side? He's lost it. He's lost the plot. He's literally now begging videos to be Trump's VP. Oh, well, that's my interpretation of this nonsense.
Case, take a listen.
Donald Trump is not on trial. Donald Trump is a victim of a witch hunt brought by the only person in the courtroom who's guilty, Alvin Bragg, D.A. Bragg, guilty of not doing his job, guilty of, frankly, pandering to the Democrat Party, guilty of an in-kind contribution to the DNC, and guilty of perverting the justice system.
Can I just add one other thing? Most legal firms, I repeat, most legal firms are not some hotbed of progressive liberalism. If anything, they often tend to shy on the more conservative side of things. So this nonsense and personal diatribe that Jesse Waters at Fox News is putting out, it's garbage.
As a lawyer, you wonder if he or she had a similar reaction to what the judge is saying and what we've heard from our legal analysts all day.
I worry about the two lawyers because they're both at Manhattan corporate law firms, and if they are in a jury that votes to not convict Donald Trump, they have to go and see their boss, and they have to go see their colleagues. And there's a lot of social pressure. There's a lot of peer pressure there, Dana, to not bring back to your liberal law.
If that's the case, prosecutors say, not only do we have things that corroborate Cohen, but we have things we can draw inferences from what he said, right? Circumstantial evidence, John. What is circumstantial evidence? We all walk outside right now. We don't see a droplet of rain coming from the sky, but the cars seem to be wet. There are puddles that are in the street. There are other people who are wearing raincoats. What can we logically infer? That it was raining outside. So, did you see it, John? Did you see it, Kate? Did you see it, Jeremy? None of us saw it, but we could reasonably infer based upon the surrounding circumstances that it happened. That's the prosecution's main argument here. If the jury buys the circumstantial rain metaphor, it spells trouble for the defense.
And we'll just throw in a little common sense. That's the other word we need in there as well. Common sense.
Yes.
Also, the rain metaphor sounds even more ominous the way Joey was describing it. But Jeremy, talk about if they want more information and we read the tea leaves on it, this has the defense team sweating.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even if we don't see the sweat, but we see it over here on the lapel,
well played.
We have that common sense. Yeah, so absolutely, this seems favorable. We don't know, we're not there, but it seems very favorable. Even the reading of the first jury instruction, of the first count of the indictment, that's not because they're really stuck on whether that particular item was a falsification of business records. That is all for the same 34 counts. They want to know what the elements are. This is moving and progressing in the right way for the prosecution.
And Jim Schultz, if you are with us, in a way, the prosecution's case is a rain metaphor case. It is the sidewalk is wet case, type of case, an inference from facts. Now, we don't know why the jury wants to hear that. We don't know if there is 12 jurors who want to acquit, but one jury is saying, we need to hear the rain metaphor, so I want to convince the other 12 of you. That could be it. But this is a sidewalk is wet type of case, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is, and I think this is just indicative of the discussions that they're having, right? And I think you hit it right on the nail, right on the head. I think they're probably debating right now. Look, there's not if they don't believe Michael Cohen, right? Then how do they get there? And they have to get there through circumstantial evidence, and I think that's probably the internal debate going on right now. There are probably some jurors that are saying, I don't think it gets there. There are probably some others saying, yes, it does. And as they continue to deliberate, they're going to want to hear so that no matter what camp you're in that jury room, they're going to want to hear, what the judge has to say, what the instructions are as it relates to that circumstantial evidence so that they can try to come to some agreement.
Inside Donald Trump's prison cell, the surroundings are like any other small enclosed space. The walls are gray concrete, and a narrow cot with a thin mattress is the only piece of furniture. A tiny metal sink and toilet combo sit in one corner, while a small barred window allows a sliver of natural light to filter in. The sound of clanking bars echoes through the air as guards patrol the hallway outside.
What?
President Trump is 76 years old. He will die in federal prison.
Trump spends his days pacing the limited floor space. The once powerful man now finds himself in a place of confinement.
Couple of other stories which are also floating around this Thursday. Steve Bannon, the guy who literally will never, I think he's had a bet never to have a shower again. He's floating a story that Judge Alito's wife is on Trump's list of potential VPs. She being the person who Judge Alito blamed for having a flag upside the American flag upside down outside his own house, which as a Supreme Justice is a little bit, what the F's come there?
I want to hang on. I want to get to the clip. Hang on a second. David Axelrod even trashed the De Niro thing, saying the Biden campaign clearly doesn't have a strategy. I want to go back to the clip for the details. Are these progressive women, these feminists, are they saying we should have Handmaid's Tale? Did they just say, "Can't you muzzle your own wife"? I think that was a quote. What is going? Are they that unhinged? Because Justice Alito's wife, right, is now on my short list to be VP. She's a hammer. So, and I don't think she's not Handmaid's Tale. I don't think you're a muzzler. Did a woman and did a feminist just say, "Hey, can't you conservative justice muzzle your wives"?
And the other story, which is exploding as we speak, there are new, fresh allegations with regards to former guy using the N-word during the recording of The Apprentice, a producer who signed an NDA, and that NDA has now, it had a time limit to it, that NDA is now gone. We'll see if that has any legs. If the tape is there, surely at some stage, somebody somewhere will get it to air.
Yeah, this is a stunning allegation made by an early producer of The Apprentice show by the name of Bill Pruitt. He alleges that Donald Trump, during The Apprentice filming, used the N-word at a black finalist in the show, or referring to a black finalist in the show by the name of Kwame Jackson. Now, this is something that had been rumored for a very long time, but we had never heard it directly from somebody who had worked on the show. And you might be wondering why he was coming out now. Well, he says that he was under an NDA that would fine him $5 million if he talked about what happened in the show. And now that NDA has expired, and that's why he's coming forward. Now, again, I do want to also mention that this producer said that there was a recording of this.
Anyway, we'll finish with something completely different. Sarah Hyland and Andrew B. Feldman. Little Shop of Horrors. Ooh.
Do you want to form an alliance with me?
Absolutely, I do.
Good. Excellent.